Let's talk about the end of the world. If you look at the news a lot, you know that it's the end of the world. You know that our politicians are crazy and that the sky is falling because you keep up on things and it's the end of the world. Um, Everything is going to crap and there's really not anything that you pleb can do about it. You might as well roll over and accept the New World Order. I'm really tired of people falling for the end of the world. The end of the world has been prophesized since the first campfire, since the first ghost story. The end of the world is Ragnarok. The end of the world is the Revelation and Apocalypse, right? The end of the world is foretold over and over and over again. Sometimes it's done as a final thing. Sometimes it's done as an opportunity for regrowth. You know, there's the hard stop and there's the cycle version of the end of the world, right? Um, but you got to know that the end of the world is not a new concept. It's not new at all. Um, my channel, I have a few viewers now. Most of you are over 40, like I am. And if you've got a little person in your life who is scared to death of the end of the world, you have to have a talk with this person and explain to them. Maybe you need to do some research first. That people have been prophesizing the end of the world forever, since our first stories. Our earliest creation myths come with our earliest apocalypse myths. They came together. How did we get here? How will it all end? Right? If you think that your monkey brain is so advanced that you aren't susceptible to the same storyline, you're fooling yourself. We're all susceptible to that kind of thinking. Right now, there's a big narrative around climate change. I said the words. I wonder if this gets flagged. And the discussion around that is that it's all going to crap and we need fewer humans. Like, that's the narrative around it. And that, you know, everything is dying. And, you know, it would be dishonest to just say, well, none of that is true. But there's a big part of that isn't true. We have been polluting, and that needs to stop. Flat out. We have been extracting resources from the ground and burning them with impunity. That's not a good idea. We've been extracting resources to build batteries that are, by their very nature, toxic and highly flammable. That's insane. We do use too much energy. That's true. It doesn't mean that the solution to that is to be horrible to people. It doesn't mean that the solution to that is to tell your children there's no hope for the future. That's no, don't do that. Don't do that to your kids. It's not appropriate. It's not true. It's not true at all. When you look at trends and graphs on a long term and short term, on a long term, you don't see anything. On a short term, it looks like a steep increase. And it coincides with the Industrial Revolution starting and a great increase in the burning of certain fuels and population boom. And that seems to be true. Now, the increase, you'll see a very steep line, incredibly threatening line. If you look at the absolute value of the temperature change, it's not that high. Do we need to stop polluting? Yes. Do we need to pull the panic alarm? I think panic is the inappropriate response, and I think that trampling on everyone is an inappropriate response. Say, oh, you pleb, you have too much carbon associated with you. I think that's wrong. That's original sin. I mean, like the idea of your carbon is a sin against the planet. That's a religious notion. It's not uh, um, it's not a hard scientific fact. It's a religious notion that your um, your very existence is an insult to the planet. That's original sin. That's a very Western uh, uh, religious notion. Like your existence is a mistake. You need to not be here because there are too many people here. You don't belong. That message is just so vile. And um, if you've got a kid in your life, I'm assuming that you're not a kid looking at this, but if you're 40 plus, you've got children, you might even have young children. I mean, at this point, we're having kids later. Um, don't let your kid go down a doom guilt spiral for being alive. Don't let them hate their existence because the TV and the internet told them that everything is going away in short order because the rich people want to burn fossil fuels. I mean, pollution isn't good, but don't let them believe that the world is ending, because it isn't. We have some problems we need to address. I'll grant that, but the doom message needs to not be there. We've been getting better over time. An unrelated example, but I'm going to use it. 300 years ago, very few people questioned the institution of slavery that had been in existence for most of human history that we have recorded. Certainly all of recorded history. I think in some of our initial writing is who owns who, right? A tally sheet of who owns who. That's some of our first writing, right? It's been going on a long time. 300 years ago, still very common. Not looked at down by most people. 100 years ago, 150 years ago, Civil War era, middle of the 19th century, we had a big fight over slavery in this country. After a big fight, or not sure if the U.S. fight happened before or after the British sailed the high seas looking for human traffickers and shutting their business down. Like a couple 100 years ago, 150 years ago, humanity was waking the F up about slavery, right? This institution that had been around forever, waking up about it, getting better at it. Honestly, we still have a problem with it. We still have human trafficking, but it's not viewed as just something that's just a fact of life. It's like let's track it down. Let's try to get these crazy traffickers out of business. That's a relatively recent development, and I think that over the same time period, we started the Industrial Revolution, right? At this point, we're having another one thrust upon us by technocrats, and we've got our own problems we need to slay with that. But the spoils of the previous Industrial Revolution include a lot of pollution and degradation of the environment that need cleaning up. We've got problems we need to solve, but by and large, they're manageable if we make better decisions moving forward, if we stop doing stupid batteries, if we adjust how we look at energy, we might have something going on. Right now, there's a lot of talk about what the right thing to do energy-wise is. There's the eat bugs version. There's the electrify everything, with green utopia of fields of solar panels. There's or skylines filled with windmills. I mean, you've got a lot of green utopia crap. You've got let's just drill, baby, drill crap. We've got We've got all kinds of stuff out there suggested as nuclear power is in vogue again because we need more energy to power the servers to store all our data so we can own nothing and be happy, right? I mean, there are a lot of bad ideas out there, but that doesn't mean that we got to be doom about everything. It certainly does not mean take agency away from your kids and let them believe the doom narrative that it's all gone to hell in a handbasket and it's irredeemable. Don't do that to your kids. That's it. Thanks.